Hello everyone, I hope you all are good. In the previous class, we have started the chapter resources in which we came to know about the definition of resources and also the different classification of resources. So basically in the classification of resources, we studied about the natural resources, the human-made resources and the human resources. Today we shall continue with the chapter and we shall discuss about the natural resources in detail and also about the human-made resources. Natural resources are classified into different groups on different bases. So first of all, on the basis of level of development and use, it is classified into actual and potential resources. Actual resources are the resources whose quantity is known and are being used in the present. For example, coal in Ruhr region of Germany and petroleum in the West Asia, the dark soils of Deccan Plateau in Maharashtra, and etc. So actual resources, we know the quantity. These resources are used in the present, like the rich deposits of coal in Ruhr region of Germany and petroleum in the West Asia, the dark soils of Deccan Plateau in Maharashtra, etc. The second one is potential resources. These are the resources whose entire quantity may not be known and these are not being used at present. These resources could be used in future, like uranium. For example, uranium. The level of technology we have at present may not be advanced enough to utilize these resources. Like as I have given you the example of uranium, as it is present in Ladakh, it is the example of potential resources that could be used in future. If you remember the high-speed wind, which were a potential resource for 200 years ago, but now it is in use. On the basis of origin, the resources are classified into two categories: abiotic resources and biotic resources. Abiotic resources are the non-living substances used by human beings. For example, land, air, water, sunlight, soil, rocks, minerals, etc. Biotic resources are obtained from living organisms. For example, wood, crops, meat, leather, herbs, plants, animals, etc. These are the example of biotic resources. Now, resources on the basis of stock. Natural resources on the basis of stock. First one, renewable resources, and second is non-renewable resources. Renewable resources that can be renewed after use in a relatively short span of time. For example, solar energy, wind and tidal energy, crops, forest, wildlife, air, and water. Easily available and widely distributed. It means that renewable resources are the resources which we use and which can be regenerated after a short span of time after the use. The examples can be solar energy, wind and tidal energy, crops, forest, wildlife, air, water, etc. Easily available and widely distributed means what? It means that these kind of resources are easily available on the surface of the earth, and also these are widely distributed on the surface of the earth. Now, second is non-renewable resources. The resources that take millions of years to regenerate. Resources which have a limited stock. Coal, petroleum, and natural gas are some of the examples. It means that non-renewable resources are the resources which are limited in stock, which cannot be regenerated easily, like for example coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Since this period is much more than human lifespans, such resources are considered as non-renewable resources. Like as I have given you the example of coal, petroleum, and natural resources. On the basis of distribution, there are two kinds of resources, natural resources I mean. The first one is ubiquitous resources and second is localized resources. Resources that are found everywhere is known as ubiquitous resources, like the air we breathe. Second is localized resources, the resources which are found only in certain places like copper, iron, minerals, etc. Distribution of natural resources. Now, natural resources are distributed on the surface of Earth unevenly. It is unevenly distributed on the surface of the Earth depending upon certain physical factors. These factors are terrain, climate, altitude, soil, temperature, etc. Now, human-made resources. First, the resources that are created by human beings using their knowledge and expertise. Natural resources become resources only when their original form has been changed. Iron ore was not a resource until people learned to extract iron from it. Now, buildings, railways, roads, ships, etc. are some of the examples of human-made resources. Like, as we know, sometimes natural substances become resources only when their original forms has been changed. Like, for example, as I have given you the example, iron ore was not a resource until people they understood how to extract iron from it. Now, people use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, and vehicles, which are known as human-made resources. Now, in this, technology is also a human-made resources. Now, what we have studied today? We studied about the different kinds of natural resources on different bases that are actual and potential resources on the basis of level of development, abiotic and biotic resources on the basis of origin, renewable and non-renewable resources on the basis of stock, ubiquitous and localized resources on the basis of distribution. Then we studied that natural resources are unevenly distributed on the surface of the earth depending upon certain factors. These factors are terrain, climate, altitude, soil, and temperature. Then we studied about the human-made resources, which are created by human beings using their knowledge and skills, like buildings, railways, roads, etc. Now, the assignment: why are resources distributed unequally over the earth? Second, differentiate between the following. First one, actual and potential resources. Second, renewable and non-renewable resources. Thank you.